If you're curious how scientific research is changing in America under the new administration, I have two updates for you. First, the NIH, the federal agency that funds the vast majority of science in the US, has announced that they are deprioritizing animal research and prioritizing human research. From now on, all scientific research must include some human data, whether that's from clinical trials or using tissue from dead people. There will be no more funding for studies that only include animals. Now, I'm going to share reasons why this is good and bad. The reason it's bad is because animal studies are super important. They allow us to study the cellular and molecular mechanisms of how drugs work, what goes wrong in diseases, all sorts of things. There are some scientific questions that we just cannot answer with human studies. So this change may limit research that helps science improve human life, like discovering new treatments. Now, the reason this is good is because obviously nobody's super enthusiastic about experimenting on animals. Less animal research means fewer ethical concerns. And of course, studying humans is always best if we're trying to improve our understanding of humans. But you would be shocked by how much of what we know about our own biology comes from studies in rats and mice and monkeys and all sorts of animals. Second, a new announcement from the NIH says that scientists can only apply for up to 6 grants per year. Now, 6 grants might sound like a lot, and maybe it is, but each time you submit a grant in science, the likelihood of being funded is extremely low. So by putting a cap on submissions, it's making funding opportunities even more limited for scientists. From what I've heard from fellow scientists, some are worried that this will make funding even harder to get, which is probably true because you get fewer attempts. But others say it might be good because with fewer applications in the mix, the peer reviewers might be less overwhelmed, so your decisions on whether you got the funding might come faster. It also may help out smaller labs and hurt the bigger labs, because huge labs can no longer submit 20 or 30 grants a year and hog all the money. The other thing is that this prevents people from using AI to create a ton of grants and clog up the system. So what do you think? Are these two updates good for science or bad for science?